Rihanna, humiliated after wardrobe malfunction exposed everything at ASAP fashion show. Hold on, stop whatever you are doing right now, because the most iconic woman on the planet, the one who taught us all how to walk like we own every room we enter, just had a moment so dramatically chaotic, so jaw-droppingly unscripted, that even Hollywood's best screenwriters could not have cooked this up. We are talking about Rihanna, Badgirl RiRi herself, the woman who literally performed a full Super Bowl halftime show while pregnant and made the rest of us feel like we have been wasting our lives. That Rihanna had a wardrobe malfunction at her own man's fashion show. And honey, it did not just slip, it exposed everything. Welcome to Celebrity Watchdog, where the celebrities think they can hide, but they absolutely cannot. Quick favor before we dive all the way into this. If you love getting the hottest celebrity tea served fresh and fast, hit that subscribe button right now, smash that notification bell, and share this video with someone who needs to see it. Trust me, this one is too good to keep to yourself. Now, let us set the scene, because context here is everything. ASAP Rocky, rapper, fashion icon, and Rihanna's partner, has been steadily building his fashion empire. The man wears a quilt as a cape and somehow makes it look like it belongs on a Paris runway. So when he debuted his latest collection, you already knew the event was going to be dripping in style, attitude, and that very specific kind of cool where everything looks effortless, even though a whole team of people worked for 6 months to make it look that way. Cameras everywhere, fashion editors in the front row with their little notebooks and their judgy eyebrows, influencers positioned perfectly for their angles. The whole circus was in full swing. And then there was Rihanna, because of course there was. You do not throw a major fashion event and not have the most stylish woman alive show up. She walked in looking like she always does, like she owns the building, the street, and probably the air you are breathing. The outfit was bold, because with Rihanna, the outfit is always bold. We are not talking a cute blazer and some slacks. We are talking a look that made people reach for their phones before she even sat down. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly where the story takes a turn. Because bold outfits come with bold risks, and fashion, as glamorous as it looks on the outside, has a very petty and unpredictable dark side. We have seen it happen to stars on red carpets, at award shows, during live performances. The laws of gravity and fabric do not care how famous you are. They do not care that you are Rihanna. They do not care that there are 100 cameras pointed at you. In fact, the cameras almost seem to make it worse, like the universe specifically waits for the worst possible moment to let things go sideways. So there Rihanna was, in the middle of this high-fashion, high-energy event, surrounded by the creme de la creme of the style world, and the outfit decided to betray her. And not quietly. Not with a subtle little shift that only the person standing 2 feet away would notice. No, this was a full, undeniable, gasps around the room kind of moment, the kind that makes time slow down for just one horrifying second before everyone collectively pretends they did not see what they just saw. Except, of course, they did, and the cameras definitely did. Now, here's what separates Rihanna from literally every other celebrity on the planet in this situation. Most people, most normal human beings, would have combusted on the spot. They would have turned 17 shades of red, grabbed the nearest jacket, and disappeared into a bathroom for the rest of the evening. Some would have cried. Some would have canceled the rest of their appearances for the week and released a carefully worded statement from their publicist. That is what most people would do. But Rihanna is not most people. Rihanna operates on a frequency that the rest of us simply cannot access. Because the woman did not even flinch. And this is the part of the story that has the internet absolutely losing its mind right now. While everyone around her was either gasping or frantically looking anywhere else, Rihanna reportedly adjusted herself with the calm energy of someone who just spilled a little coffee on their desk. Casual, unbothered, like the whole thing was slightly inconvenient and nothing more. The expression on her face, according to people who were there, was somewhere between mild amusement and the energy of someone who has genuinely seen it all and is no longer impressed by chaos. That is the Rihanna effect. That is the superpower. The ability to take a moment that would destroy the average celebrity's week and turn it into just another Tuesday. And the fashion crowd, who are famously hard to impress, reportedly ate it up. Because in a world where everything is curated and controlled and filtered and staged, a genuine, unscripted moment handled with that level of grace is actually more impressive than anything that was planned. But let us not skip over the detail that this happened at ASAP Rocky's fashion show specifically, because the layers here are delicious. This is her partner's event, his big moment. The cameras are already trained on everything because it's a fashion show, and every single angle matters. And of all the places and all the moments, this is where the wardrobe malfunction chose to make its entrance. Fashion people will tell you there is no such thing as bad press, but this is the kind of story that follows an event forever. People are going to be talking about this show not because of the collection, but because of the moment. And honestly, ASAP Rocky's people might not even be mad about it, because the internet traffic alone has been astronomical. Now let us talk about the internet's reaction, because it has been a whole entire event of its own. Social media went from zero to full chaos in about 4 minutes flat. The takes are everywhere. The memes are already circulating. Half the internet is in awe of how Rihanna handled it, calling her a queen, a legend, a woman who could survive a nuclear event and walk away looking like a magazine cover. The other half is doing what the internet always does, which is turning it into the funniest content humanly possible. And then there is the third category, the fashion commentators, who have somehow found a way to analyze this from a textile and structural design perspective, because of course they have. Some people online have pointed out that this is actually not the first time Rihanna has had to navigate a tricky fashion moment in public. The woman has built an empire, Fenty Beauty, Savage X Fenty, and a music career that technically owes us all an album right now, but that is a whole other conversation. And throughout all of it, she has consistently shown up in looks that take enormous style risks. When you swing for the fences the way Rihanna does, occasionally the fence swings back, but she keeps showing up. She keeps going bold, and that consistency is what turns a wardrobe malfunction from a scandal into a story about character. There is also something worth pointing out here about the media coverage itself. When this kind of thing happens to certain celebrities, the coverage becomes predatory and mean-spirited. There is a tendency to pile on, to mock, to make someone feel small for something that was beyond their control. But the internet's response to Rihanna has been, for the most part, incredibly warm. People are rooting for her. They are celebrating how she handled it. That shift in how we talk about these moments says something about how much the public genuinely loves and respects this woman. She has built so much goodwill over her career that when life throws a fashion crisis at her, the crowd cheers for how she handles it, rather than gleefully reporting on her humiliation. That is not something every celebrity can say. And while we're here, can we just acknowledge A$AP Rocky's position in all of this? Because the man was presumably somewhere at his own event watching this unfold. And his response, or rather his reportedly very calm and cool non-response, has also been noted. No panic, no scene, just two people who exist on a level of cool so elevated that a wardrobe malfunction barely registers as a blip. They are honestly the most stylishly unbothered couple in the industry, and this moment might have actually made them more iconic, which feels impossible, but here we are. The broader conversation this has kicked off is also worth paying attention to. Fashion designers and stylists have been jumping into the discourse to talk about the very real challenges of creating high-fashion looks that are also structurally sound under real-world conditions. Lights, movement, temperature changes, cameras, sitting versus standing, all of these things affect how a garment performs. The line between bold and risky is sometimes just a few poorly placed stitches, and events like this serve as reminders that fashion is ultimately a wearable product that has to function on a human body in an unpredictable environment. The drama of it all is practically a design brief in itself. What makes this particular story so compelling is that it has everything. It has spectacle, it has a celebrity at the absolute top of their cultural power, it has an unexpected moment of raw, unfiltered humanity in an otherwise meticulously staged environment, and it has a response from the person at the center of it that is so composed, so confident, so completely on brand that it somehow makes you respect her even more than you did before. That is a rare thing. Most scandal stories leave you feeling some kind of secondhand embarrassment. This one leaves you genuinely impressed. So if you are sitting there thinking Rihanna walked away from this event embarrassed or diminished in any way, let me offer you a reality check with the highest quality of respect. She walked in as one of the most iconic women on the planet. She had a moment. She handled it like she handles everything, with style, confidence, and a complete refusal to let the universe rattle her. And she walked out still being Rihanna. Some people could trip on their way to the podium at the Grammys, win the award, deliver a perfect speech, and still leave people talking about the trip. Rihanna could show up to an event, have her entire outfit fall apart, reassemble herself mid-conversation, and leave people talking about her composure. That is the difference. That is the legend. Celebrity Watchdog will be watching, because they always give us something worth watching. And honestly, we would not have it any other way. Thank you so much for watching. You are the reason we do this. See you in the next one.